Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today, Isaac and I are moving the cattle onto a fresh paddock that's ice covered. It's just got a little skiff of snow on it, but you can see the blades of grass if you look up close. That's well, there's a good semblance of it. I just touched that, and that ice fell off of that fescue leaf. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. You wouldn't think ice could hold together, and that's hollow. You could use that as a straw if you wanted to. Probably wouldn't be able to suck much up to it. A little chilly on your teeth, Isaac says. Ben is coming home tomorrow.
I think so.
From Mass. He's ending his Christmas vacation with his family, and so it's Isaac and I. We're taking care of everything. Well, Ben's enjoying himself, a well-earned vacation, I might add. And anyway, Isaac, you want to talk a little bit about what we did this morning and yesterday in regards to our management on these cattle and this? I guess before I turn it over to you, we did have a severe ice storm Thursday night, and so we lost power on Friday. New Year's Eve. We had Isaac down, and we actually cooked our meal on the wood stove. We had soup, and then we
lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and then we played cards with candlelight. That was kind of neat.
Yep.
That was our New Year's Eve, and so anyway, it's really treacherous out here. The gravel roads are just like skating rinks. We almost fell in the ditch a couple times coming over here today with the truck. But Isaac, go ahead and tell a little bit about what we're doing here.
Yeah, so with the ice being on the grass, the cattle don't like grazing it very much. They prefer it, obviously clean. But so we had them up there. What was it? 2 nights ago.
Yes.
And then
up on that hill where there's no snow.
We fed like 6 bales up there over a day and a half, and then yesterday morning we brought them down there and into this paddock. You see everywhere doesn't have snow on it. That was the paddock.
So that was what one. We were going to give it to them as half a day, right?
Yeah, and it's a big paddock for stockpile.
Right.
So we put them in there in the morning, and we just didn't feed any hay. We let them graze.
What'd they do when we turned them in there? They just kind of
walked around. They walked kind of up there, and they're looking for hay. They're like, there's nothing here to graze. And finally they started, I guess there's grass under the snow and
ice,
and they figured it out. And so then we just left. And then last night we were coming up the driveway with the truck, and we kind of peeked over the hill slowly, and everything's out here grazing still. They still had grass, and they were grazing. And so we made the decision to stop where we're at, unhook the bale and roller, and sneak out of there with the truck. Because if we were to get up there and make a little noise, they would, they're bringing us hay, and they'd all get up on the fence and bawl. And so we decided just to leave them. So we left them here for a full day, and they grazed. This morning, you can see it. It's got some residual left. They didn't take it down to nothing.
Right. Well, it looks good to me.
But they got a lot of what they got the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we fed them 3 bales this morning. Unrolled it on those hills.
Where'd we feed? You can't even see it.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Okay.
There's one up above that tree, and then there's one over there.
They nailed it, didn't they?
They did. It was good hay. Not like the other stuff we've been having to feed them. But.
Yeah, this is excellent quality. Lesbides,
clover and
orchard grass, and you can tell it was put up right.
And I was pointing out this morning, you see their manure patch.
Yep.
None of them are stacking up anymore. I think that's because of the good hay that they've been getting.
And the stockpile.
Compared with the stockpile, it looks like perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that one right there.
Yeah, this is a beautiful manure. And it's got the pond. It's got a nice pond in it. Look at that. Boy, you open that puppy up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. There's no water coming out of it.
Like pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. All it needs is a little snow on it. That could be our whipped cream.
Yep, exactly. So, anyways, we were up there moving bales so that we could get to them with the bale and roller. We were using the tractor, and they kind of all piled up there up by the fence and looked at us. They just kept watching us, and so you made the call. We need to move them.
Yeah.
So we just moved them onto another piece. What'd you say? It's
Oh, there's
6 acres?
probably 3 acres right there.
3 acres. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so-
I don't know. There wouldn't be 3. Cause see that woods line right there to the creek right here. More like probably 1.5 acres, 2 acres. Yeah.
1.5 acres.
Yeah. But it's good, high quality.
Oh yeah, it's thick stuff. We were surprised. So when we left this farm, it looked pretty similar to what it looks like right here, and we actually got some growth.
Yeah.
When we left, which was like what, October maybe?
It was right before deer season opened.
Yeah, so the end of October.
Yep.
And I mean, right now you wouldn't know it. It looks good, and this is some of the poorest on the farm.
This is our poorest paddock, I would say.
Except maybe that brush paddock.
Well, the brush paddock's pretty
But
bad.
other than that,
Yeah.
this is probably the lowest quality. So it's kind of good. We got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, we're just trying to buy time and get rid of this ice. Isaac and I were up there a while ago moving bales, just kind of getting everything ready because we got them stacked end to end up there on logs. And to put the baling roller on them, they need to be sideways. So we set them on gravel parking lot up there where we normally come in by the corral. So there won't be any more tractor work for, shoot, I mean,
It was a lot.
we put out quite a few up there. So we may be good here for the next 3 weeks. Because we're going to be doing this. We're going to be grazing and then just to buy a little time to get us to spring because we didn't get the fall rains that we'd hoped for. Some of our fields are a little bit short on stockpiles, so we're going to supplement a little bit of hay, which we bought clear back in July, August. Don't wait till wintertime to get your hay, folks, because then everybody wants it when you got snow and ice. And then how are you going to get it to your farm if it looks like this? You can't get a pickup out on the road. I mean, it's that bad. The blacktops you can, but the gravel roads are just snotty runny, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, slick.
We were sliding all over today.
And that's just with a four-wheel drive truck. We weren't pulling.
And it wasn't like you were going. It like you'd go slow and it'd still. There's trees
Wow!
breaking.
Look at that! It just broke the top out of that tree. Look at that!
That's why we've been losing power.
It snapped the top out of that tree, and that is well, it's an elm. Okay, like, man, it sure did. It snapped that big limb. That's why you don't want to be standing underneath trees right now with ice on them. It's not a good thing.
You can see they're already opening up a bunch of this grass.
Yeah, it's getting greener as we stand here.
Yeah. The trails, every time they walk, like if you walk.
There you go.
A bite.
There you go.
So when you got 370 head doing that.
Look at all the green sticking out of that ice. These cows are so
See
happy.
how it's pointed?
Yep.
That means it grew.
So it got clear back to recovery, didn't it?
Yep.
Since the last time we grazed it.
I mean, this piece, not quite.
Not quite.
But this, I mean,
Yep.
some of it definitely did.
Yeah. I would say on an estimate, we probably got, I don't know, 4 inches of new growth in here between October and this is January, what? 4th?
4th, I think. Yep.
And we've still got around 250 acres of stockpile here on this farm, counting, Dave and Yoder and a little bit on Steve. And then we go to the Judy farm. We've got about 200, around 200 acres there. And then go up to Jan's farm. There's another 45. So
we got a lot sitting
we've got a lot of this in front of us.
And a lot of it looks better than this. I mean,
yeah, it does.
It's kind of
absolutely.
I
would say this is one of our poorer stockpiles right here. But don't tell that to the cows. Look at that. Do you hear anything bawling?
Nope.
Folks, everybody is up in arms about Kentucky 31 fescue and how bad it is for your cattle because of the endophyte. I'm not going to sit here and argue that at times of the year it can be. It can affect their feet, their tail switches can fall off, the tips of their ears. It restricts blood flow to the extremities of some animals. But if you don't graze it down to the ground and move them and keep some diversity in with the fescue in the form of other grasses and legumes, Isaac, I'm not sure there's another grass in Missouri we can make more money with.
No.
What do you
You
think?
couldn't do it without it. I mean,
Huh?
you couldn't do it without fescue. You couldn't do what you're doing without it.
What if this was all orchard grass?
You'd have pug marks about that deep. There's no sod.
There's no sod under it.
Green.
And what happens to orchard grass when it gets a hard freeze on
Yeah,
it?
it turns brown.
Turns brown.
Melts away.
So y'all listen up. When the professionals tell you to come out and spray Roundup and kill this stuff, just smile, thank them for their time, go back and get in your truck and drive off. don't
listen to them.
Don't listen to them. We're making a good living on the farm. Get rid of the animals that have issues with Kentucky 31. You'll have one that'll get a sore foot, and usually in about 5 to 10 days, they get over it. We had a heifer on the last cattle drive. I noticed she had her foot, I think it's her right front foot.
Mm-hmm.
She's not limping anymore. So they usually get over it pretty darn quick. If one doesn't get over it, sell her, just get rid of her. She doesn't have the genetics, and for whatever reason, the Kentucky 31 is not conducive for her, so you need to get rid of her. And if you keep her and doctor her and get her over it and all that, and then have a calf with her later on, let's say she's a heifer calf, there's a good chance that her offspring will have the same she's not going to have any tolerance for fescue. So it comes down to, we're mimicking nature. Whatever grows out here, that's what we're going to eat. We're not going to plant anything, and we're going to make a living with these animals. So with that,
they look good too.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They just look fantastic. Good hair coats on them, and we're just happy that we've been given this opportunity to have this kind of lifestyle. I mean, it's just, what do you hear out here? Just chink,
Yeah,
chink.
it's kind of relaxing.
It is. It's our paddock's getting greener and greener. The cows are getting fat.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I don't have to do any physical labor to do this other than put up a wire.
Yeah.
So
except when it's icy and we do have to feed hay. There is some work involved.
What'd you think about that, Isaac? It's a lot of work, isn't it?
You've got to look at it like this. You got to expect it to take longer, and if you like go at it with, oh, it's going to take longer, it's just what you got to do, then you can kind of enjoy it. But yes, it definitely.
You got a pretty good wake up call, didn't you?
Yeah, it's good though.
I mean, you've been here since April, and we hadn't had any ice storms, or it was just difficult to get around. Mm-hmm. And but I told Isaac it's a real challenge when you can take that, 750-pound ATV four-wheeler, and keep your cows looking like that just by moving a wire and occasionally rolling out a little bit of hay to supplement them. There's no 100-horse tractor out here. The animals are doing most of the work for us, and it's because Isaac and I are using management.
Yeah, you really
Ben
appreciate it when they're out there feeding themselves, when you know what it takes to feed
yes.
that herd.
That was one of the issues I had with Ben, is he didn't want to leave. He said, Greg, this is like vacation. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. You need to leave. And Ben's like, well, it's so much fun. He said, I kind of hate to go on vacation. But I thought that was kind of kind of neat. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. And everyone new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out and that like. I'd appreciate it. And we're going to see you all down the road. Man, what a beautiful picture.